Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in another Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get better in solos, and as well just how to win more games in solos. And for the gameplay here, I chose this gameplay in particular because I actually dropped at Retail Row instead of Tilted Towers. And for pretty much all of my videos, I'm constantly dropping Tilted Towers because that's going to be the most amount of people typically that you're going to find in a drop, always off spawn. So Tilted Towers is usually my go-to place, but for this game here, I got quite a bit of a high kill game. I had like 17 kills or something like that. And I only came out of retail with like 2 or 3 kills, so the mid to late game was definitely very hectic, and I was able to pick up a lot of kills in there. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you need to do is to drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on my notifications, and leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, make sure you guys have me supported as a creator on the item shop. All you need to do this is go to the item shop, hit X, type in Young Humor. That's all you have to do, and you will have me added and supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so for this gameplay here, like I said, this is a high kill gameplay in solos, and I came from Retail Row in this gameplay. And I like to go Retail Row or Tilted Towers. The only other place that I would go would maybe be Salty Springs or maybe Paradise, depending on the drop, because I would like to go for high kill games, and those are going to be the areas you're going to find the most amount of people. Dusty Divot is also another really good location, but I typically don't go there off spawn, and for the reason is there's only going to be maybe 1-2 teams at most going there off spawn. But trust me, in that mid to late game, it's going to be packed full of people. Everyone's going to be trying to get the planes, just going through the zip lines. So that place is going to be very hectic in the mid to late game. And when going for these high kill games, these high kill solos, basically you want to go at a place that's going to be pretty populated if you want to get a lot of kills off spawn. And then the best thing you can do is just rush that area next to Dusty Divot where the planes are, because that's where everyone's going to be. And if no one's over there, then they're probably towards Retail or Salty. And of recently, I started playing quite a bit more solos. I think I'm up to about 60 or 70 solo wins in this season. And the reason why I've been playing a little bit more solos, I mean, this could be solos or solo duos, but for the reason I've been playing a lot more solos, and I think you guys should be playing more solos too. And I know a lot of you guys are probably a lot of squad players, play with your friends all the time, but the reason I like solos a lot is because solos really focuses on 1v1 gunfights and just focusing on individual gunfights at the same time, or maybe getting pinched from different teams. Because when you're playing solos, you're pretty much all by yourself, you have no one to rely on. But in those solo games, you pretty much have to fight for yourself and win 1v1 gunfights in order to win the game. And I truly think that's probably one of the most important ways, or the best ways to get better at this game, is just improving on 1v1 gunfights. And I'm not even talking about just 1v1 in creatives, because that's just pretty much all double 90s or maybe a couple edits here and there. I'm talking actually winning a 1v1 gunfight in game. And if you can practice 1v1 gunfights in games, then eventually you're going to be able to practice 2v1s, 1v3s, or maybe even a solo squad. Because honestly, even for me, I've been playing this game for a really long time. I have just about 2,000 wins, and fighting off a 1v4 is really difficult. I'm not even going to try to sugarcoat it, and it doesn't even matter if the players are really good or really bad. It's just going to be difficult either way, just because there's 4 other players you have to focus on. I mean, they could be to your left, right, and just depending on your situation, maybe you don't have any heals, maybe you're low on mats. So it can be very tricky, and no matter who you're going against, the more players that you're fighting, the harder it is going to be to win that gunfight. So definitely one of the fastest ways to improve in this game is just practice 1v1 fights. I mean, honestly, creative wouldn't be a bad way to start, but I wouldn't focus on just playing like that in game, because if you just do constant double 90s, I mean, you're just going to get sprayed out, dynamited, RPG'd. So it's not really the best way to play, but honestly, it's a pretty good start. And the thing that you're going to notice in this gameplay when it comes to finding people, for those guys who don't already know, I touched on it in a previous video. And when you want to find people in Fortnite, if maybe you're not lacking gun skill, maybe you're just trying to find more players, pretty much the entirety of the game, maybe I'll land Tilted Towers, Retail Row. But for that mid to late game, I'm going to be constantly at Dusty Divot, Retail Row, or Salty Springs. I'm going to be hovering around that area for the majority of the game, because that's where the most amount of people are going to be. But pretty much from here on out, I run into a ton of people, and I want to talk about the individual gunfights and how I was able to win those fights. So when I was coming over to this location, I don't even think I seen anybody. I just seen a new plane, and I wanted to try to get that plane. And so I came down here. This guy came out of nowhere, out of the box. So this guy's in my box, and those guys are trying to mine out. So at this point, I can try to hold him off, try to place a trap, or I can go for an edit play. So this player eventually stopped mining at the wall. I should have just placed a trap. It would have been a lot safer. But I just decided to just go for an edit play down and hit him for a 198 to the head. I think he had like 150 HP. So I was able to finish him off there. And so there's going to be another team or another solo pushing me. So I'm just trying to get off as many heals as possible, box myself in, and maybe it would have been a little bit smarter depending how close the other player was to try to get off some steal. But this player was completely clueless. I choked my pump shot right there. So this player's out of my box, and I think the reason why I didn't push this guy right away, because I think there was another player to my left. And if I want to go for a challenge on this player right here, I'm going to have to push from the right side. Because if I were to push from the left side, I'm going to get pinched in between both of the players. So I push from the right side and trying to maintain high ground. I get a few tags for shield on that player there. And the player below me was pretty clueless. I just finished him off with the deagle pretty simply. And so this guy was only connected to one ramp. So I was able to pretty easily just knock down his structure. And because he had a balloon, he fell pretty slowly. And I was able to finish him off very quickly. So at this point, there is 11 people left and 8 kills. I do believe I killed the 9 out of 10 players remaining. So the second I land, I always want to try to go for high ground. So this guy ends up getting high ground quickly. And instead of kind of building around it and spinning those extra mats, I just decided to just pop the wall in front of me with the deagle and then push up. And it was kind of a risky play being on the low ground, just having myself exposed like that. But at the same time, I was able to hit my shots and I was able to finish them. So typically, I would recommend going for a challenge like that, because if you were to miss their shot and they were to hit you, I mean, they're going to hit you for over 100 every single time. Just because they're above you, they're probably going to hit more headshots. And for this player rushing me, I saw an opportunity to knock him down, so I did. And so here I placed a wall and I placed the stairs. I could have gone for the edit, in which I probably should have, where I could have just edited really quickly. But this option here was also another really good one, where I go for a deagle and a wall replace. And this is something that I like a ton, especially because they're not going to notice it, because I like to shoot from different angles. Because the first time I came from the right side, I got the wall replaced on the right wall, and if I would have kept shooting at that wall, keep trying to replace that wall, he's just gonna notice it. He's gonna turbo build that wall. So what I did instead was go to the front and then get the wall replaced on that and able to finish him off there. So a really good way of fighting people who are using the turret. So for that instance, in that guy there, he was just looking down me, spraying with the turret, just a complete bot. And when you want to go to kill someone on a turret, and when it comes to breaking the turret, I like to just shoot the ramps out that are underneath it, because that's just the easiest way. Otherwise, it's like 1,000 HP on the turrets, which is going to be very difficult for it to break. But honestly, when it comes to fighting players on a turret in a 1v1 situation like that, I'm going to wait for the turret to overheat, and then as soon as it overheats, that's when I'm going to make for the play. Otherwise, if you try to go for a challenge while they're constantly shooting at you, 40 damage a shot is really just not the best thing to happen. And as well, they're probably going to hit a lot of shots as well, because they're just spraying with the turret, and they're just going to end up hitting a ton of shots on you, which is just not going to end well in your favor. So just waiting for the turret to overheat is going to be your best option for killing people who are using the turrets, especially in those 1v1 situations. When it comes to those 1v2 situations, I guess it could apply as well. You know, you always want to try to kill the player, you know, that's easiest to kill. But at the same time, when it comes to players who are using a minigun, RPG in those situations, you always want to wait for the turret to overheat, or when someone's reloading their RPG, quad launcher, or whatever the case may be. You always want to try to wait for that reload timer, or just any time at all that they're not going to be able to shoot at you. That is going to be the time when you want to make your play. Otherwise, if you just keep trying to rush up on a guy with the quad launcher, they're just going to keep spraying you down time after time again. So you have to wait for that reload timer, play a little bit slower for a little bit, and then try to make your move. And that's just honestly one of the best tips I can give you guys when it comes to fighting those type of players. You really just have to wait for the right opportunity and the right moment to fight them. Otherwise, if you just try to challenge a guy with a minigun, or I guess the minigun, you can't really do anything if they have a lot of ammo in it. But when it comes to RPGs, turrets, or anything like that, you have to wait for that reload timer, or just for it to overheat. Just anything that can buy you a little bit of time to make a play. But when you go for the play, you're going to have to make it quickly. And because if they have an RPG, you want to try to rush up there or get close enough where they're not going to have enough time to reload, or at least be close enough where they're not going to shoot you with it. And a lot of players are going to end up doing it. They're just going to suicide RPG, which is the most annoying thing ever. But for most players, if they're right next to you, they're not going to do it. And with that being said, playing more solos and just practicing those 1v1 gunfights is really going to make you a better player, and a better player much faster in this game than playing any other game modes like squads or maybe even duos. Because if you're really good at winning 1v1 gunfights, it's going to make it even easier to win 1v2 gunfights, 1v3, or maybe even a 1v4 gunfight. And that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you guys liked it, hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys could, drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications so you're notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I will see you next video.